Actually, I wrote a Matrix prequel
Oh,
that
wow.
I'm very proud of.
Yeah.
That just didn't get made.
Right.
So.
I think that it's great that this another part of the Matrix story is being told, because the world has evolved, and I feel like this film is kind of has evolved as well from where it was into what's happening today.
So it's the mid-2010s, and the Matrix franchise has been dormant for over a decade. The Wachowskis, creators of the iconic trilogy, have repeatedly said they're done, and that means no more Matrix movies. In fact, after 2003's Revolutions, Lana and Lily Wachowski flat out denied the possibility of another Matrix film, refusing every offer from Warner Bros. So Warner Bros. Is going, look, we can't deny the cultural impact of The Matrix, so we need to milk this cash cow. So at this point, they're itching to plug back into The Matrix, with or without the Wachowskis. So what do? They find a willing champion willing to resurrect this franchise, Zak Penn, a screenwriter known for hits like X-Men and The Avengers, who has been quietly lobbying to jack back into Matrix's world. It turns out Zak Penn is a huge Matrix fan, and more importantly, he's got a burning desire to resurrect the franchise. So in early 2017, word leaks that Warner Bros. Has hired Zak to develop a new Matrix movie, and instantly the internet lights up with rumors. Some people say Michael B. Jordan is going to play a young Morpheus, while others say that Keanu Reeves is going to be recast as Neo.
I honestly can't tell you anything. I could pass the line and take the test right now. I promise I don't know. But, Lawrence Fishburne, Morpheus, The Matrix, that whole world is amazing. I love it. I'm a big fan,
And that's that.
Come holla at me. We'll see what's up.
So Zak, watching this chaos unfold, is getting a bit frustrated. He's probably sitting at his computer thinking, these people don't get it. And he fires off a series of tweets to set the record straight. He says, yes, I'm writing something. Not a reboot, not a continuation. Watch Animatrix. Read comics to see what Wachowskis did. He then continues in another tweet, a script in development is not a movie. No casting, director, style can be discussed yet. Nothing to see here, folks. Yet. And then he emphasizes, no need to put actors or anyone on the spot, because there's nothing there yet. No reboot or reimagining. No recasting involved. So what he's basically saying is, everybody has got it all wrong. We're not rebooting The Matrix, we're planning a new story in that universe, one that will not recast beloved characters or rehash the original plot. So why was Warner Bros. Entertaining this idea, especially without the Wachowskis? The simple answer, The Matrix is a very valuable IP. Warner sees franchises like Star Wars churn out spin-offs, like Rogue One, and Fox/Marvel doing standalone hits like Logan and Deadpool in the X-Men universe. So Zak Penn himself is going, I think we can do this with The Matrix. Let's make it happen. He went on Twitter and said, do I want to see more stories set in the universe of The Matrix? Yes, because it's a brilliant idea that generates great stories. Look at what people are doing with X-Men universe. Between Logan and Legion and Deadpool, does anyone want them to stop? Not me. Even original producer Joel Silver, who first brought the 1999 Matrix to life, is cautiously optimistic. By 2018, Silver acknowledges that talks are happening. There is a discussion about it, but it's too early to talk about it. I hope we can find a way back to it. That would make me very happy. Coming from the guy who oversaw the original trilogy, that's a very big endorsement of Zak's efforts. So what exactly was Zak Penn's plan? Let's rewind to what the Matrix movies themselves teased. Remember Agent Smith's chilling monologue to Morpheus in the first film? He revealed the very first Matrix was a paradise, a perfect world that humans rejected, causing the system to crash. Agent Smith said, did you know the first Matrix was designed to be a perfect human world, where none suffered, where everyone would be happy? It was a disaster. No one would accept the programming. Entire crops were lost.
Did you know that the first Matrix was designed to be a perfect human world?
Now this Paradise Matrix concept has always intrigued fans. What did it look like? Who were the humans inside it? Why did it fail so badly? So in his script, which was reportedly titled Matrix Paradise, is literally about that first failed utopian Matrix. So in an interview, Zak said, you know how they describe how the first Matrix is a paradise and people couldn't deal with it? The story I wrote is about the Paradise Matrix, and the first people ever to get pulled out of the Matrix. So there's hints of Neo and Morpheus and of the other mythology, but it's really about a bunch of new characters. So it's essentially the origin story of the red pill / blue pill paradigm. How did people first wake up? Who discovered reality in a world where everybody is just happy? These questions form the core of Zak's narrative. Now, from Zak's perspective and the studio's, doing a prequel about a Paradise Matrix solved multiple problems. Why was this approach necessary? Well, let's consider the other options. A straight sequel like Matrix 4 with Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss. The Wachowskis were not on board, and Keanu himself was going, "Look, I'm only going to return if the Wachowskis return as well." So that option was out the window. Another alternative was a remake with new actors as Neo and Trinity, but nobody really wants to see that. But one final alternative was a spin-off or prequel set in the existing community, like what Rogue One did for Star Wars. Now that had potential. It respects the original story and avoids undoing any character arcs and can bring a new perspective. The Paradise Matrix prequel was essentially the spin-off route. It would show us something we've only heard about in dialogue, and it's an interesting story we haven't seen that's still set in the Matrix universe. In an interview, Zak said, "That's a franchise I desperately want to see brought back, and I've been harassing Warner Bros. For years to try to get it going again." Now, for a while, Zak Penn was the only person pitching a Matrix movie, but then, plot twist, in 2019 news breaks that Lana Wachowski herself is returning to make a Matrix sequel, and this one will be starring Keanu Reeves and Carrie-Anne Moss.
Meanwhile, Keanu Reeves and Lana Wachowski are returning to the world of The Matrix. Reeves will be reprising his role as Neo, and Carrie-Anne Moss will return as Trinity.
So, Warner Bros. Is excited again, and they are thrilled to have the original crew back. But this raises a big question. What about Zak Penn's prequel? So Zak Penn goes on Twitter and says, "People keep asking, so let me clarify. There are two different Matrix projects at Warner Bros. I wrote one set earlier in the timeline of the Matrix universe. Lana Wachowski is directing a sequel that I did not work on, but can't wait to see. Neither of them are reboots." Now the thing is, Warner Brothers was going, let's not flood the market with too many Matrix movies, and all the focus shifted back to Matrix 4, which went into production in 2020. So Zak Penn's prequel was quietly put on the back burner, and by the time Matrix came out in 2021, Zak's script had been in development for about 4 years with no green light. And honestly, if you've seen Matrix Resurrections, you're probably thinking to yourself, I wish we got Zak Penn's version of the Matrix instead of that bullshit we saw on screen. I mean, that movie is probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life, ever. So when Matrix 4 finally came out, it underperformed at the box office, and that made the studio go, maybe it's time to pump the brakes on any further Matrix movies, at least for now.
It's easily the funniest Matrix movie. And was that deliberate going in? I feel like you had a lot of fun with this.
Yeah, I guess I did.
Matrix 4 had a budget of $190 million and made about $160 million at the box office. And honestly, I went to see this movie at the cinema, and it just felt like one big middle finger to the fans. I mean, whatever happened to giving the people what they want to see? Not this. But I'm going off on a tangent. So here we are in 2025, talking about a Matrix prequel that never was. According to Zak Penn, his Matrix project has been stalled, and he doesn't think it's ever going to be made. It seems like the underperformance of the last movie has scared studios away from Matrix projects, and it seems like the franchise might go back into hibernation until nostalgia cycles back again. Until that day comes, us fans are left imagining what could have been. And if you're like me, you probably regret laying your eyes on The Matrix 4. Anyway, that's it for the video. Do you want to see Zak Penn's version of The Matrix? Let me know down below, and I'll see you in the next one.